My brothers and sisters, if we are to survive, we must separate from these people who are trying to decimate us. They've been trying this ever since we've been here. Because you see, we are not considered as citizens. We are considered as strangers in a strange land. And strangers have no power politically or socially in a strange land. They are now escalating their attacks on us. Their police are killing us. They're putting us in prison. They're doing everything to us. Let's leave them now. Habari gani, Mainduga na dada. Listen, my brothers and sisters. It doesn't take much to convince you, if you've done a little reading or been to school, to realize that since 1619, the Africans who were stolen, kidnapped, or whatever, and forcibly transported to a country that these Europeans had stole from another people they had almost decimated in the process. Since we've been here, they've worked us 24/7, from sun up to sundown. 6 days a week at least, 52 weeks a year, for 275 years, as a tool for economic process and growth. They paid us nothing for it, worked us almost to death, raped our women, listen to me now, hung us from trees, had their special policemen called the slave patrollers, patrolling the woods and the county, looking for black people who are off the plantation, who are in the streets walking, or in the woods without a pass signed by a white man, a master of the slave farms. Listen, my brothers and sisters. Then they started practicing Jim Crow on us. Then they raped and murdered, burned at the stake, hung from trees, over 5,000 people from 1887 to 1930. Then they started the Tuskegee experiment and gave I don't know how many people syphilis. They just treat us any kind of way. We are treated less than human beings. As a matter of fact, their legal documents define us as 3/5 of a human being. Are you listening to me now? The only way they gave you this fake citizenship was by making an amendment on the Constitution. And you got to realize one thing. An amendment can be amended to something, but it can be demended or regulated or taken away at any time they decide to, because it's only an amendment. It's an attachment to. And attachments can be lost, or they can be modified, or they can be exchanged for other modifications. Are you listening to me now? We are treated less than they treat their dogs. They don't see us as human beings. We have to get away from these demons. If we don't get away from them, we are doomed. Listen, it's escalated to a new level now. Because you see, they're diminishing in population. So this means that over time they're going to lose political control. If they lose numbers and we are voting and have the right to vote, do you think they're going for that okie doke? Of course not. What they're going to do, they're going to do anything they possibly can so that they can stay in power. And we must understand, power concedes to nothing but an equal or greater power. And we do not have power at this time because we are strangers in a strange land. Billie Holiday memorized our suffering by talking about we're strange fruit hanging from sycamore and magnolia trees. Come on, my brothers and sisters. Recognize what's going on. Claim it. And then, my brothers and sisters, once we claim it and analyze it, we must move to destroy it, or it will destroy us. Or we can separate from them, get our own land, our own sovereign land, a land governed by us, a land protected by our armies. Are you listening to me? We can do anything they can do, and we can do it even better. We've shown that already. That's why they fear us so. Listen, my brothers and my sisters, in 2 generations, they're going to be minorities in the United States of America. And believe me when I tell you this, they will do anything to maintain their power, their political, economic, and social power over us. My brothers and sisters, we must understand we can stay with them and fight them to the end. Because if we stay with them, there's a war arising on the horizon. They may kill us, but America will be destroyed forever, never more to rise. Or we can head up, leave them, separate from them, and learn to lift ourselves up by our own bootstraps in our own sovereign land. We must have our own sovereign land. We must have our own sovereign land if we are to survive, because we will not survive in the midst of these people called Europeans. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you know what we are dealing with? My brothers and sisters, power struggle. And remember, the stranger in a strange land does not have social or political power. So the stranger in a strange land must do something to liberate themselves or himself or herself. So what will it be? Will it be war in America? Or will they let us go to our promised land? Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina at the very least must be our homeland. We work that land. And international law states that whoever works the land owns the land. We own the land. We own the black belt. That's ours. We worked and toiled that land. Our flesh, our sweat, our blood, and our tears has fertilized the soils of these lands. This is our land. And we must take our lands if they do not secede these lands and give them to us, because they're ours. Do you understand what I'm saying? So our primary hope at this time is to separate from them, go to our own sovereign land here in the United States, land that we've worked, a land that really belongs to us. We must act one way or the other. Come on, my brothers and sisters. Let's separate. Let's separate. We have no future with these people. They will kill us all if they have the time. We must separate from them completely, absolutely, to our own sovereign land. Hotep, my beautiful brothers and sisters, we must be brave. We must face reality. And we must deal with reality as it has unveiled itself to us. Or we shall be the victims of the Europeans who decimated the people who own this land and brought us here and enslaved us and still has us enslaved. Let's do this. Hotep.